Sir. All right, so we're here in case 24S235. We have the plaintiff, Jenny Quiriconi, present. We have the defendant, Justin Guadron. Are you the owner of Affordable Land Care, sir?
Yes.
Okay, the owner of Affordable Land Care. So it looks like an amended claim was filed, but as of today, sir, $6,000 is being requested by Ms. Quiriconi against you. Are you aware of that value?
Yes.
All right, sir. So, sir, you keep popping in and out. I don't know if you could just stay in the camera, please.
I'm sorry. I'm at work.
All right. Well, this is a trial. So I apologize that you're at work. You're just going to have to take some time off to handle this matter. All right, sir. So going forward, this is a trial. Ms. Quiriconi is going to go first. She is the plaintiff in this matter. I'm going to let her go first, present the evidence that she has for the $6,000 value she is seeking against you. If she has any witnesses to call, she can call them forward, and then we will listen to her side of the story. When she's done, I'll let you tell your side of the story, sir. I ask that both parties do not address the other, that they only address me. If there are any questions, just to me, let's try to keep this amicable. I don't want this to be a contentious situation now that you have brought to light that most people on YouTube like to watch Ms. Quiriconi's matters. So let's just keep this very amicable, please. When you're done, I'll go ahead and offer my judgment in this matter. Are there any questions in regards to any of this going forward?
Yes, Your Honor, I have questions.
What's your question, Ms. Quiriconi?
What starts as a simple kitchen remodel dispute immediately turns into total courtroom chaos. The homeowner accuses a contractor of botched plumbing, code violations, missing permits, and disappearing when repairs were needed. But the deeper this hearing goes, the weirder it gets. YouTube livestream drama, emotional meltdowns, and a judge already looking exhausted before the real arguments even begin. From the very first minute, you can tell this case is headed straight off the rails.
Your Honor, what makes you think, as you stated, that people are watching because of my matters and not because it is your court?
That's true. It might be my court.
Your
Any
Honor,
other questions?
are you aware that because that your court has been monetized on YouTube, that I have been subject to harassment by
Not monetized. How is there any monetary financial gain from this?
the people who stream your court on their YouTube channels have paid subscribers.
What does that have to do with me, Ms. Quiriconi?
I am just stating facts regarding your channel being monetized.
It's not a channel. I'm a government employee sitting in a courtroom. This is not a YouTube channel. This is a Zoom trial.
This is true, Your Honor. And people on YouTube are monetizing your court by paid subscriptions to their channel. And I object to Mr. Guadron continuing to have the picture of my kitchen in his background.
All right. Mr. Guadron, please take it down and make just a neutral background. That is an exhibit that has been submitted, and I will go ahead and review it at another time.
Can you see? I just want this exhibit that's in my background is pertaining to the case. Wasn't able to give it to you in the photos. I wanted you to see. Okay, well then please
take it down. Please take it down.
Because it goes against one of her allegations.
All right, so you're going to have to just testify against to that verbally at that point. Please take it down. Thank you, sir. Anything else, Ms. Quiriconi? Because we need to begin.
I understand.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and begin. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the whole truth during this proceeding?
I do, Your Honor.
Please state your full name and spell your last name for the record.
Jenny Quiriconi, Quiriconi.
Thank you. Please begin with your testimony.
Your Honor, last year, I contracted with Justin Guadron and affordable land care to have my very small 9 by 10 kitchen remodeled. I paid my invoices, and within the exhibits you will find representations of my checks that he accepted.
The second the plaintiff starts arguing about YouTube monetization, the entire hearing changes energy. Suddenly, this doesn't feel like a construction case anymore. It feels like a live stream showdown. The judge keeps trying to focus on evidence, while both sides seem fully aware there's an online audience watching. Even the contractor logs in with a dramatic background tied to the case. At that point, the courtroom stops feeling professional and starts feeling theatrical.
In full payment of the first 2 invoices generated by him. There are no details of how much labor might be required in hours. And in fact, I did not ask him at any point for documentation on hours. And that is one of the questions that I have for Mr. Guadron, is if he can supply documentation for the number of hours and the days that he worked.
Quiriconi, I apologize. Mr. Guadron, this is a trial. Please take off your hat. Please do not drink beverages, and please do not eat any food. This is a serious matter, sir. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Ms. Quiriconi, please continue.
Thank you, Your Honor. Because of the nature of the work, plumbing was required. I have since found out that while Mr. Guadron is a plumbing contractor and a general contractor, he is not a plumber. And from the very beginning, he put himself forward as a plumber. A plumber must have that qualification through Labor and Industries. Mr. Guadron is a plumber trainee, and as a plumber trainee, he is required to...
Now, the homeowner finally starts laying out the actual complaints. And honestly, some of them sound serious. Failed inspections, plumbing concerns, flooring gaps, possible moisture problems. She throws everything on the table. But the problem is the story keeps expanding wider and wider. 1 minute it's pipes, the next it's mold, insects, debris hauling, labor costs, and personal frustrations. And when arguments become scattered like that, judges start struggling to separate facts from emotional overload.
To have supervision on site for his work. To my knowledge, he never had supervision on site. Within the paperwork is who is supposed to be supervising him. I was unfamiliar with that name until I started looking into his background. He also refers to, in one of his own text messages from the very beginning, that he and his partner are coming by. Now, there is some paperwork that says he has a partner named Patrick, but there is no last name, and I never met anyone named Patrick. I never heard their name, nor did I ever hear the name of the person who was supposed to supervise him. I was not on site the entire time that the plumbing work was being done.
This is the exact moment the hearing starts shifting. The judge asks one simple question: where's the inspection report? And suddenly everything slows down. Up until now, the accusations sounded convincing. But courts don't work off feelings or suspicions. They work off paperwork. The judge keeps pressing for proof that the work officially failed inspection, but nothing concrete ever appears. You can practically hear the skepticism building in real time.
However, when I was here and plumbing work was being done, there was absolutely no supervision whatsoever. Mr. Guadron claims that there were, according to his document, unexpected circumstances. But his document also says that his labor is warranted for 1 year. That year is not yet up, Your Honor. I have had an estimate done of what it will take to remediate the items in my kitchen that are substandard, do not pass inspection, and I have requested be fixed by Mr. Guadran. He has refused communication. He has done shoddy repair work. Behind me are 2 full tiles of flooring that were available to properly repair the floor. Instead, he put in a little plug.
This is where frustration completely takes over the hearing. The homeowner starts talking about trust, morality, religion, and feeling publicly humiliated. And while the emotions are clearly real, the judge immediately tries pulling things back under control. Because legally, none of that proves damages. The courtroom slowly turns into less of a construction dispute and more of a personal fallout between 2 people who clearly no longer trust each other at all.
In the flooring that has a hole all the way around it, and in the center, they go straight through the subfloor and into the insulation. In the picture showing that, there are numbers 1 and 2. 1 shows the pipes passing from under the cabinet and into the floor. Plumbing regulations require that something like this item, I believe it's called an escutcheon, this one was made in 1914, go around those pipes and secure them to the floor. This prevents my plumbing from passing inspection, an inspection for which a permit was never obtained. If Mr. Guadran is a plumber and a plumbing contractor, he ought to have gotten the proper permit to do the plumbing work. He did not acquire that permit. I do not know if he got permits for remodeling. I have not checked. I never saw one. The only permit I ever saw was for electrical, and I paid for that.
Now the contractor finally gets his tone, and his strategy is completely different. Instead of arguing technical plumbing details, he focuses on the relationship itself, repeat business, completed projects, positive reviews, and added work requests. He's basically telling the judge, if the work was truly terrible, why keep hiring me? But then comes a mistake that changes everything. He partially admits a permit probably should have been pulled, and the judge immediately locks onto it.
If you notice in the picture where the floor has been repaired, you will also see at the back of the wall, there are no baseboards. This means should any pipe burst, should there be any kind of leak whatsoever, that water is going to go down there at the base of the floor, ruining not only the sheetrock behind it, but possibly the underlying subfloor, the insulation, and even the foundation. It can contribute to rot and mold. In addition, insects can come up through there. Food items can get trapped in there, so it creates a very unsanitary condition. This ought to have been fixed. My requests have basically been ignored. In Mr. Guadran's paperwork, where page 1 refers to a partner, I don't know what partner he's referring to, whether it's Patrick or whether it's the one and only person I ever saw here on site, Zach. I never knew Zach's name. I don't know how many employees there are.
By this point, the judge looks stuck between suspicion and proof. He's not saying the homeowner is lying. He's saying the evidence simply doesn't support thousands of dollars in damages. No official failed inspection report. No expert testimony. No hard proof connecting the contractor to the massive repair estimate. And the more the judge examines the paperwork, the less the giant remediation costs actually make sense in relation to the original complaints.
He wanted me to use my truck for hauling things. They left all the stuff behind. I took care of it myself. on one of these pages. The date is hard to tell, but on April 17th, that was when the electrical was done and when the inspection. The next page, the conversation about the shed and the garage, and he's been busy helping a friend move, or I don't know when that conversation was. It's not identified with any kind of date, or nor is the next one about when he's going to be home, when I'm going to be home in a few minutes. He's apparently not ready to, he's not in a hurry. He's concerned about my squatter that I had.
After more than an hour of arguments, interruptions, and accusations, the final ruling ends up shocking both sides. The homeowner loses nearly all the massive damage claims because the court never received documented proof the work officially failed inspection. But the contractor doesn't escape clean either. The judge rules a plumbing permit should have been obtained and awards limited reimbursement costs. In the end, this entire courtroom war collapsed over one missing thing: actual evidence.
In the end of August, he lets me know when his employee, who he misspells the name, I don't know whether it's Z-A-C-K or Z-A-K. I let him know when I was in the hospital. I let him know that there was a hole under my kitchen sink, under my kitchen, in my kitchen, under the cabinets that needed to be repaired. I had the tiles then. The labor costs are so expensive. Never, ever, ever do I get to see what the labor charge is. I have talked with a couple of plumbers since, and I know that a trainee generally makes much less than a journeyman plumber. I was basically charged $4,000 for very little work. I don't know if it even took him 10 hours, which would be $400 an hour, which is far above what a journeyman plumber would.